Bless up, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pleasant morning. Good morning to the people, them, to my subscribers, them, to the most God-fearing people, them, to the people that glorify the Most High every day in their life, that implement to say amen. Give thanks to the Most High. Blessed. Yes, people, I was thinking, I wanted to talk a little bit about today, about my life growing up as a young boy, in different countries, different islands, the things that I has done, partake in, is it experiencing the growth of life as a youngster, trying to become a man on my own. When I mean on my own, sometimes certain youth, them, when them growing, them don't want to hear what them parents say. I was one of them youth, where when mommy did talk, although mommy did strict, yes, but I did give mommy a fight. When me did young, yeah, I give my mother hardship. I can't confess it, because it's true. I did give my mother a very hard time. It's a poor woman that always, poor queen, that always make sure we ate. One thing with my mother, she never make we go to sleep hungry. And she never had anything to give us. At least we drink a hot water with a lime leaf. Never go nowhere hungry. It could have been the food where she cooked, the ground food, the yam, the dasheen, the breadfruit. If that didn't eat, my mother never dash with that. She keep that. As if we don't have anything, our neighbors wouldn't know. She warmed that up around the fireside. And yeah, we eat that, and she tell us, yo, when you come in later, most I gonna sort out something for we. And there was always something. Mommy always make sure that we was good. But like I said, when you're growing up, following friends, you can't look in between the lines. So you want to do your own thing. So you don't want to listen to what your parents say or what they're saying to you, because you're following your friends. So I was one of those who they like to follow my friend. When I mean follow, it's like I was the leader for my friend them, in a certain sense. So even I was not there, it had no flavor. When I was there, it had flavor. So I always bring the flavor. You know, guys? So yes, I did give mommy a hard. And mommy, you are in the afterlife. I always say that, may the Most High God be gracious upon thee, for you was a good queen, good mother. You was not just a woman that be a children. You was a woman that care and nurture and teach and show the right. We didn't overstand you, mommy, because we did young. We never overstand you. But now I becomes a man, and I have my children, mother. You that's in the afterlife, I know that your spirit is there, for I always in tune with your spirit. And I would say, yes, you was a good mother. Yes, you took care of what you had to take care of. You strive hard, you work hard, and you did your best. You was the best mother. If I had a chance to rebirth again and reborn again, I would choose you as my mother. Even though you wasn't educated, but you was fully educated with common sense. You knew the time. You didn't need a clock or a watch to tell the time. You knew what time it was. As a little boy growing up, your enemies used to call you a witch, and they used to call you names, but you never care what people said. You hold your head up and you took care of your children. Even when you didn't have no husband and no man, you hold forth by us, and you never leave us hungry. You never made no man come and beat us. You never make nobody take liberty on us, mommy. Even though you in the afterlife, today I could tell the world I am proud to be your son, Miss Ivy. I am proud to be your son, even though you are in the afterlife, This is why I've never shamed you. I maybe did when I was young, growing up, being not wise enough, making the wrong choices, mother. But mother, I am satisfied with you being my mother. I am satisfied with the things that you taught me, the herbs, the medicine. Be mindful, do good. These things that you inspirited in I when I was a youth, to see and blind, hear and dead, mind your business. You teach me all the patterns that I needed to follow life. If I follow them, I would always stay secure. You taught I to worship one God. You taught I to know my God and my Creator at a very young age. Yes, mother. All praises unto you, mother. All blessings unto you, mother. Even though I brought shame unto thee in thy young time. But mother, I went back on the track before you depart in the land of the living. Before what happened to you, what people did to you and take your life away from you, I know I saw you after, I see you after 20 something years. I saw my mom's right here in America. And my mother was pleased with me, and I was pleased with her, and I loved her, for she first loved me. And I remember when I went to Sears and to purchase a pair of shoes for her because she have con. So I wanted a shoes that was soft and flexible and not hard. And I went to Sears and I find 2 good pair of shoes for my mom's. And I remember me putting the shoes in my mom's foot. Okay, wiping the dust off her foot and putting these shoes, fitting the shoes in her feet. It took me back that like when I was a child. When I was a child and mommy was buying me a pair of shoes, the way she would sat me down and she would put these shoes, remove my shoes that I had on and put these brand new shoes in my feet and ask me, did I like it? Okay, I remember these things, mother. And this is why I try to be as loyal and as humble and as most merciful. For any man who have his mother and don't love his mother, any person who have their mother and they don't love their mother. Now I am not saying they doesn't have bad mothers, but still it's your mother. If you can't live with her, you could live away from her. But at the end of the day, she's your mom's, no matter what went down. So I don't have no mother and no father. I am fatherless and motherless. But the Most High is thy father and mother. He is thy creator. For instance, for when your father and your mother forsaken thee, or even when thou, mother and father, has gone to the land of the sleep, then of course I shall take thee up. Just implement righteous things. So yes, I did bring tears unto my mother. But before, like I said, most I helped me to find myself, that I dry my mother tears with implementing, to be humble, implementing to stay out of trouble. I am not a troublemaker. If you look at my record, there's no record at all. I've been in America, and if I told you, I'd probably get arrested twice or 3 times. And all times, it's not me. It's either wrong identity, misidentity, or where I was accused, and that, okay? But I am not, I have clean record. A guy tried to catch me for robbery after he tried to use a taser on my son's mom's, and when he tried to use the taser on her and on him, and that time my son was probably about 7, 8 years old, and he tried to taser, and I went over there, and when I went over there, me and the brother get into it, and I rough him up a little bit and this and that and the other, but I never do anything. The brother called the cops and say I came in there and I robbed him. But then when I got arrested and I am being going to court, he never came. And then when the judge tried to ask me to, they wanted to give me 6 months probation. I said, for what? I have not done anything. If you say I do anything, show me the proof. If this guy say I robbed him and came into his stores, he got camera in his stores, allow him to bring the evidence that way I came to rob him. Why is not he's not saying the right the reason why that I came here. The reason why I came here that he violated a 7-year-old and his baby, and his mother with a taser. You're a grown man, so but that case was an open case, and I beat the case, but they had it here open. But these 10 strings of instrument, the things that I did when I was younger, I don't partake in them anymore. So yes, people. So my life is a rugged life. I learned things early in life. I learned how to plant food. I learned about the moon, planting under the moon. I also learned a lot of good habits and bad habits. Or as a young boy, I used to leave my mother's house and run away from home. I used to go to the sea, the people that have the boats who cast the nets out, pull the nets in, take the fish out of the net, go sell it. I used to go and climb nut trees, coconut trees, and pick people nuts and go sell it. I started stowaway at a very early age. I started getting real out of order at the age of 9 years old. Yeah, I started getting out of order. It's not to say my mother couldn't control me. I was just a runner. I love to run away from home. Seeing? And people that say, well, they probably did some negative stuff to me. That's why they never like to stay to my house, because I had a nice bed. I had a good home. I had people who loved me in my home, But like I said, sometimes things, and I will tell any parents, if your child is giving you problems while they're young, you better take it while they're young, instead of when they grow older and a grown man giving you trouble and you have to go in and out in prison, walking back and forth to Rikers Island and all of that to come see. So I gave my trouble in an early stage. And thank God I never been to prison. Thank God, I did a lot, but the Most High always protected me, because I kept on saying, and I keep saying, that it's the spark that was within I that was always a righteous divine spark. So yes, I have done a lot of things I shouldn't have done when I was younger. I went to, like I said, we used to stow away a oil tanker, or a oil tanker would come into the wherever country, St. Lucia, Martinique, wherever I was at that time, because of the traveler's kid, I always in a different country or something. And we would just stow away, climb up on the, when it come into the harbor and it's dock right there, we'll climb up the rope, hide up in the dinghies until when it's ready to go out to port, wherever we go. One time we end up reaching, it's me and two of my friends who already died at a very young age. We stow away and reach a place called Beijing, and we got beaten, sent us back. We was playing games. I already put my life on the line with stupidity. I couldn't swim, and I always liked the sea. And like I said, one day some big guys threw me over, and I dog paddle, almost drowned, but I didn't. The Most High God was protecting me and over me, guiding me. So after that day, I learned to swim that day. That same day, after I dog paddled and came out from where I was, I definitely jumped back in, and I learned to swim that day. I learned to swim. I have lose a lot of friends that I had to sit with them, and probably then back in these days, even up here, I used to drink beer. We used to get the 80 ounce OE, or the British Bulldog, or the Mad Cobra. They used to have some beers back in the days, these beers used to really knock the lights out of you. I remember there was a drink called Cisco, and there was one that tastes like Kool-Aid. I remember this movie called House Party Part 1 had first came out, and I was up here that time. A friend of mine came and he said, yo, taste this thing here. I said, wow, this tastes good. It tastes like Kool-Aid. But what I didn't know about Cisco was the type of drink that you drink it, and you drink it like a juice, but it sneak up on you, it hits you. And we went to Manhattan, we got locked up. I got locked up because we jumped the turnstile. Like I said, my life, I've been through a lot where I almost lose my life many times. I've been pushed off buildings. I got pushed off the projects there, Vanderveer, heat on these, they used to have the big cable cords back in the days. I think it's cable vision or what it used to be, some big black wires. This what stopped me from hitting the ground. So I can't be bumping on these wires when I'm hitting the trees, hitting on the branches, and the branch flying me back on the same wires, and I'm just from branch to branch. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I've approached death. Death has approached me many times, but it's for a purpose that I am here. You know, I've been stabbed. You know, yeah. You know, it's my life. Like I said, a lot of my friends are dead. A lot of people that I used to roll with, that I knew, that I used to go to their place. They come to my place. You know, then I had a friend a while back. I used to go around him, and another one. This one killed a cop. And that particular night, I don't know, the Most High always guide me. That particular night I was there, but I left and ended up going somewhere, and they was planning for me to come back because they had a lot of Guineas and they had herb, they had everything, and I just left to go to come back, and I never came back. And whatever went down, I heard it in the newspaper. I read about it. I heard about it on the street, what happened. And always has been like that. Wherever it has been, and things would happen. I had a friend that looked just like me, got killed on 38 and 38th Street and Avenue D. It was donkey years ago. Same long face like me, everything. And you know, I remember that day. I was working in a corner store, in a discount store, 99-cent store. I ended up saying I'm going for lunch and went all the way there, jumped in a dollar cab, right up all the way to Avenue D to go to my house. And then I saw my friends was chilling. I stopped. They smoking, they talking, and I was there for a minute, and something tell me, walk to go to the store. I said, it's like sometimes the most I just work, make things work with you. I turns around, walk to the store. By the time I left the store to come back, he was already dead. Someone came up on the block and shot him up in the head, like opened up a tech 9 on him. So, you know, it's a lot of times close, and you know, where death always almost approached me, but the Most High God always saved me. I remember back in the days I was walking to the junction, the dead end, which is 34th and Newkirk, and they used to have a dread that used to sell herbs on the 4th floor, and we used to go over there and buy weed. But then time that I had just kind of moved to 38th Street. So these are the days when Vanderveer Projects used to beef with 38. They used to beef with 38 guys and guys on 39th. And it was back in the days was not really gang. It was hood. Like if you was from Flatbush, you could have come from Flatbush, but in between what block and what block, because it's like you could have come from Tilden and Beverly. There are brothers that's in Newkirk and Flatbush. There are brothers that's from Vanderveer that don't deal with people from Newkirk and Flatbush. That's how it used to be back in the days. It's like little turfs, people, you know, brothers just having no issues. Back in the days, you on a bus, you get the cut in your face, all of that there. There was actually no Bloods, no Crips out here. There was none of that. It was just like, when I came to America, the only gang that I could recall, I remember I couldn't even go to East 18 and Church Avenue, because all over there, not even to where King's Plaza at, all over there was rough. I mean, the towns run you out. I remember one time they beat this one black guy that was dating a white girl out there. They catch him and beat him where John Gotti come from. They beat this brother, the lights out, kill this brother. So it was always hectic. We had Coney Island. It was a problem from Coney Island because Coney Island had a problem with Brooklyn, and Coney Island always used to beef with us, you know. And then it was where you had to actually run through blocks. And if you had the guts, you walk through blocks. It was not about a group, gangs. It was just the area, turf. We had beef with each other. I remember when Vanderveer was beefing with 38 and 39. 39 was beefing with 48. 48 was beefing with Kings Highway and Montgomery brothers. The guys from Montgomery was, you know, beefing with brothers from Fulton, and you know, it was always, that's what was there until after all of this gang stuff came in, where people started being affiliated deeper into it. Like I said, when I came here, I knew about the Latin Kings. They were there. I knew about the Scorpions, which was there was some Koreans and Chinese, because I worked with some Chinese people way back in the 89. I worked with some Chinese people, 1989. They had a son named Bobby. He's in prison for murder. He's a big gang, one of the Scorpion leaders. Yeah, but this brother, I used to work for his father and his mom's good kid, Korean kid. And back in them times here, it was different. It was more neighborhood and areas, certain blocks was beefing with certain blocks. Okay, so and like I said, it was just the Latin Kings, the Scorpions, and they had one, two folks. Okay, that yeah, because I remember knowing this brother back in the days that used to try to show me how to make a silencer out of a potato, or make a silencer out of a soda bottle. And he used to be, I'll tell you, it wasn't folks. I'll tell you what, he used to be a disciple. He used to be a disciple. So, and this is the people that I knew of when the Blood and Crip really started coming, because it wasn't really in New York. New York only had like I said, the big stuff. I've been through it, running through the Bronx, you know. I've been through a lot, man, and where I have to get down and do what I gotta do, you know. So I thank God that, you know, my life allowed me to remove myself from the filth and from the germs and from the dirtiness, and able to cleanse myself. The Most High has cleansed me on a different level that I don't partake. That's why I tell people, most people think I'm Paru. I used to, back in the days, I used to hang with a lot of Paru brothers. A lot of Paru brothers. I used to hang with a lot of brothers, blood brothers. You know, I always knew people, but I was always a one-man bandit, one-man thing. I never liked a crew, because I knew how that go. I remember one time I was in Vanderveer again. I went and checked my boy on the 3rd floor, and that time he had lived right there. I think that is that is not 37. What street is this? This is Brooklyn Avenue. He used to live on the back page right there. I went and go check them, and went over there. And they used to have a friend. He used to have a friend of his. He used to live on the 4th floor. He lived on the 3rd floor. And this brother here didn't care. He robs anybody. And I remember the day when I went over there, someone came over there. 2 people came over there and burst shots. One person got shot in the butt. And the Most High always protect me, even when Vanderveer was real bad. I mean, everybody knew front page. I'm talking about where it's Nostrand and Forster, that back street there. Okay, they knew about this. Like back in the days, every day somebody was collapsing over there. I mean, when Vanderveer was Vanderveer, not Garden State, Vanderveer. So God has allowed me to even see, like I said, I have grown with people that I see them now, either they in a wheelchair, either they got a put bag, they can't walk. Most of them in prison, 25 to life. There's a lot of people in prison who knows me throughout the years. And this is the thing, I was never a follower to the point where I allow people to tell me what to do. I was always a one-man bandit. I knew people, but I always by myself. I was never the type that always anxious when someone called to go do something. I remember one time my friend called me out of nowhere to go do a jukes. And I was never that type of person where people could call out and go do things. Okay, I'm very rebellious when it comes to that. You're not going to call me out to do anything. And if I'm going to do something, I'd rather do it by myself. So I will never tell on me that I do it with other people. And that's what I learned throughout my life. Most people I know that used to affiliate with other people, they're in prison right now, will never come home because their friend said something. Because they did something with a friend that couldn't keep his mouth shut. So you can't even trust yourself. So I've been through a lot. I've been through many countries, many islands, you know, in many countries. I have seen a lot with these eyes. And that is how I know how to humble myself and how to live amongst people. So my life, it wasn't a bed of roses. There are days I had to, you know, I've been homeless. Nobody knew, but I was homeless. I had friends and they never knew I was homeless. I would walk with 3 pairs of pants. I would always be clean, always wash my clothes, you know, always find a way to stay clean and walk with my toothpaste in my bag, toothbrush in my bag, roll on in my bag, my little baby oil in my bag. And wherever I go by someone, I could take a shower, I take a shower. I never try to allow my older than me looking worse than myself. I know life was already hard for me. The only thing I could do is to take care of me. So I was always up to date. Everybody will know me will say to you, yo, from the time I know this brother always clean. The only time I'm dirty is when I'm doing construction, I'm gutting buildings out or stuff like that. So people, my life is not, I went through many times, like I said, I couldn't be here. I could have been dead for the choices I made. Yo, I remember I used to work in a corner store, and this is why I say I will never work in a corner store no more. I will never work in a 99-cent store. I will never work nowhere bodyguarding, securing nobody's stuff. I was working in a store called Extra Department Store, and that happened like 4 times already. This brother came in, and he's a thief. He's a bad man, but he's a thief. Everybody knows. And he ravished people, done people quick over there from Parkside. And this brother came in. All right. Okay. So, yes, people. Yeah, that's my son right here. Yeah, all right, boo. So, yeah. And what I was saying, baby, make me forget what I was saying, man. Yes, I used to work in the store in Parkside, on Flatbush and Lenox, between Lenox and Flatbush. It was a store called Extra Department, so I was working in there. I always try to keep a job, you know, and as a security guard. And this brother came in there. He was a gangster person. Everybody know him. He done a lot. People always ask why the cops don't lock him up and keep him in, and why he always get to come out. So anyway, he came in my store where I was working at, and back in the days, there was a name brand called Carcanine. Came out, and he came in there with his people, and he tried to take the whole rack of Carcanine. And when he passed through the buzzer, it buzzed. So I was the one that had to stop him. And when I got to stop this brother gonna tell me, Bridget, you don't know me done here. And I said, well, Bridget, you are going to. Me I do my job. All right. You want to do your thing? Do your thing when I'm not there right now. You do something and you get catch, just put back the thing and go about your business. And the brother threatened me and tell me how he gonna done me, and I have to watch my head back. And that same particular day, that brother came back, and I was sitting there, and I happens to turn and see the big dirty gun nozzle coming out through the crack of the door. And I dash and do a flip up, and and from there I had to arm up to this. So me and this brother been going on with it. But the Most High God always blessed me, because the Most High God allowed this brother to conk out by a different individual. And like I said, this is why I will never work in no store, because you working in a store, a security guard, I'd rather work for me. I'd rather do my vlogs. You working in a store, you protecting somebody's stuff. That's not even your stuff, and you're going to lose your life for it. The second time happened to me again. I was in Nostrand again working for a Jewish brother, and there was this brother, I think he came from Barbados or Trinidad, one of them, and he been up here. He's like, he got West Indian background, whatever, his mother and father is West Indian, but he can't be born here, but he goes back in the islands a lot. So the first time I started working there, he came in here, and he said, what up to me? I was like, yeah, what up? And he's like, oh, you working here? I'm like, yeah, I work here now, man. He's like, all right, dude, all right. So he came back later, he walked into the store and walked straight to the area where they had the Brute and the Old Spice and all that stuff. He combed his hair, he put some Brute on him, he put some roll on his arm, he walked out of the store. I didn't say nothing because the owner of the store was right there, and they didn't say nothing. Next day he did it 3 days back to back. So on the third day, the boss came and said to me, listen, why are you allowing this guy? Because the guy coming, he told me, and then he gonna do this, or why I'm letting my friend come. I said, this is not my friend. I just started working. I've been seeing this brother coming here. Nobody know you have other people that don't tell him nothing. He said, but you're the security. I mean, that when this guy comes inside my store, I don't want him in my store. So on the fourth time when the brother tried to come into the store, I told the brother, I said, listen, man, the owner of the store don't want you in the store. And the man said, well, who gonna stop me coming in the store? I said, well, yo, it's my job. And the man said, you can't come inside of the store. You come in the store, you're using his broom, you're using his comb, you're using things that people gotta buy. You're not buying anything. So me and him get into it. Same shit. Excuse my language. Same old story. The brother came, he left. He said, all right, that's how you want to be? All right, then. And left. Came back on a bomber. I don't know if you all remember what is the bomber. The bomber used to be the first type of bicycles that came out with big wheels. They call them bombers. He came with riding on a bomber, cruising in a bomber. Tried to blast me again because I was sitting at the door. Tried to blast me again. I caught him when he was pointing the gun at me. Jumped over the. I was sitting on a like a box crate, like they built to sit there. When I turn and see that, just jump and do a flip, like a roll flip, and grab 2 candles. Went to defend myself again. Da 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 da. Months after that, I saw this brother in a certain place. I dealt with his case to the point I beat him up. I was going to do more, but everybody said, he apologized, die. And the Most High, again, always protect me. It's like my enemies, the Most High always dealt with my enemies for me. I ain't got to do nothing. Every time, like, somebody comes to cross me, I happens to see what happened to them. Another example where I could have lost my life that day. And sometimes haste is not good. A brother came talking his yak, move away from him. And I noticed the brother was possessed the way the brother was approaching me. Don't know me from Adams, and approaching me a certain way. And my whole instinct say, yo, you know what? Just don't say anything, but you're going to say this. I said, listen, bro, I don't know you. I ain't trying to get into nothing with you. But I'm going to let you know this. I'm going to be a witness to see you, what's going to happen to you. He said, what you mean? What you going to do? I said, it's not me going to do. You're going to do it. And the Most High allowed me to see this brother get knocked out that night by a younger person. Okay? So sometimes people, there are angels that works with the Most High, that works for the Most High, that protects the Most High people. And I'm saying for all the dead ends I have run into, I could have given up. I could have been in prison. I could be a worse person. I could be still in the gully, into the cracks, into the dirtiest spot. The Most High could clean you up. He could resurrect you. He could shine you. And that's what I'm telling people. I've been through a lot. And this is why I try my father. I don't know my father like that. And that's why I will be a father for all my children. I don't care what anybody got to say. I love all my children. I will share that love. See, I have my other children. I got to deal with them too. I got to deal with them appropriately. I got to give them what I give these here. I got to give them the same. I don't care what people say. I don't care what the mothers want to say. I'm going to do what I got to do for my children. They all need me. They didn't ask for them to come here. They all need me. I got to be a 50-50 with all my children. I can't be 70-30. This ain't no gambling thing. Everybody going to get the same amount, 50-50. So my life is it's a process. And like I went through a recycle to improve my life and to better my life. For all these times I have approached death, death has approached me, and the Most High has never failed me. He has always been there protecting me, guiding me, and looking over me. So, you know, I had my mother where they assassinate my moms. I mean, they actually murder my moms. They actually, you know, knocked her in the head, drag her in the house, and burn the house down. They, you know, people see me here, they don't know the type of evil things that this evil forces has done to me to break me. Okay? My mother, you know how long they've been trying to kill my moms? They finally get her. They killed my mom in 2003. They murdered my moms. You know? They murdered my mother. They bash her in the head, drag her in the house, and burn the house down. And I stayed right here in 2003 when that was happening, and I had a feeling, a connection that was something was wrong. I remember my brother has his shop, he does upholstery, and I went over there and I was talking about my mom's, and I made a symbol, a King Solomon symbol on his table. And he asked me, what was that? And I ended up saying, I recall that I was saying the F stands for fire, and I was using the elements showing him is wood, fire, wind, earth, and metal. So that's what's the element at that time I was working with and I was dealing with. And I tried to make him overs, but he couldn't overs that until like the following week when I was in a shop. He was there drinking Red Stripe, burning chalice. And then he end up about say, yo, look a brother, me, I'm going to my yard. So I'm going to say, all right, my brother, me see you tomorrow. It was a Saturday. Saturday. And a Saturday. And I remember going home. I was tipsy and I ride home. Tipsy and ride home. And before I reach in the house and I was sleeping, the phone ring and my brother said, look, brother, guess what? And I said, Mama. And I just said, Mama dead. And I passed out. I cried for like 21 days. I cried until there was no more tears, but my eyes felt like things was poking my eyeballs. It was no water. It was dry. It felt like dust was in my eye. There was no more tears. No more tears. And then on the 21st day, I dreamt my mother and how my mother died. And I called my brother and told my brother, have them to do an autopsy on my mother. And when they did the autopsy, they found out she had no smoke into her lungs. No smoke. They find out she had a cracked skull. And until now, they have not found out who did this. This person is running wild. This person is there. But I always say, most I don't sleep. And the way I love my moms, I ain't going to even say much. But only most I knows my heart and knows my meditation. So I've been through a lot, people. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, a whole lot, man. And I have to give thanks that I'm still here. So people, this is a little bit of my life. That's why if I have to write a book about my life, it's going to be a seller. It's going to be something because there's a whole lot of things that I ain't even telling y'all guys. There's a whole lot of things I ain't even explaining to y'all because I'm not the type of person who just come and throw my whole baggage out, you know. But I want y'all to know RedShot BlackStar has been through a whole lot. I could have been dead or alive and still dead. But thank the Most High, He allowed me to be in the land of the living. And I'm not living dead, but I'm alive and awakened spiritually, physically, and mentally. Okay? And I have to praise the Most High for that. So peace and blessings, people. Yo, share this video. Don't forget to love, like, and subscribe. Share this video. Share this video. One of these days, I don't know, people. Maybe one day I'm going to just put it all out on the table. But for now, I'll let y'all know that I've been in a lot of different countries. I have seen a lot of things, and I have been through a lot of things. My life was on the line. I learned to swim. Okay? I have been, only God knows. Only the Most High know. But it's not where I have been. You know? It's where I'm heading. And right now, where I'm heading, I know where I'm coming from. So what is important to me is where I'm heading and where I'm going. You guys, where I'm heading and where I'm going. Okay? Where I'm heading. What's up? Is where I'm heading and where I'm going. That's important. So yes, people. Okay? What's the problem? What's the problem? Sit down. Puppy wet? Let me sleep. Okay. You want to burp? Okay. Appreciate it. Yes, people. So everything, there's a purpose for everything. My purpose is unfolding right within my eyes right now, in front of my face right now. I'm going to see my purpose every day, and my purpose is good over evil all the time. Seeing. So I hope you all love this. Maybe one day, I don't know, it's the Most High. I always bring my problems to the Most High and not to the world. But I just want you all to know that the RedShot BlackStar have been through the rough and toughest edges and still here, solid as a rock by the Most High willing. And the Most High allow I man to dwell in the land of the living. And the Most High has, under grace and mercy, has forgiven me for all my abominations and my sins. This is why I said, there is nothing that no demon could say to I. There is nothing that no one can bring to I to try break I man down. For I know as long you are trying to rise up, they will come and talk about your past. And they will come and try to dry you down. I don't live in the past in that type of filth anymore. So it doesn't bother me. I have a clear conscience, clear heart. And I don't go around creating negative input anymore. I don't go around creating negative energy anymore. I only goes around and creating positive. That is what I live for. This is what I nurtured for. This is what I was bred for. And this is why I say I am what I am. I am that is, that was, and that will always be What is that? The servant of the Most High. Peace and blessings. One love, people. You done know the RedShot BlackStar. I'm out.